Good Morning Miramar, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m., right here, right now.
Good morning, Miramar. My name is Danielle Reales, Marketing Coordinator with the City of Miramar's Office of Marketing and Public Relations. We're so excited to have you all tuned in today. Today's Thursday, May 10th. We have a wonderful show planned for you. First, we're going to actually be joined by Janae Charles. She is a wonderful Miramar author here today to tell us all about her latest work, Unfolding. Then afterwards, we'll be joined by Stephanie Jones of Chat Miami, who will be talking about the 2018 Synergy Summit. Be sure to comment on our live stream via Facebook or Instagram at City of Miramar. You can also dial in and ask us any questions for my guests as well at 1-877-2-MIRAMAR. That's 1-877-264-7262. The weather for today, Thursday, May 10th, will bring partly cloudy skies. The high temperature will be 88 degrees and the low will be 73. Are you interested in learning how your company can do business with the City of Miramar? If so, please be sure to join us on our How to Do Business with Miramar event that's happening today, May 10th from 12 to 2 p.m. at our Miramar Cultural Center. This event is completely free to our business community and lunch will be provided. For more information, you can give us a call at 954-602-3145. The Miramar Cultural Center is inviting you to I Am King, the Michael Jackson experience. It's happening tonight at 8 p.m. During this show, Michael Jackson is brought to life in an explosive performance, supported by an incredible cast of talented musicians, singers, and dancers. This will feature his greatest hits, including Thriller, Billie Jean, and Bad. To purchase your tickets today, please visit MiramarCulturalCenter.org, and remember that's tonight, so get your tickets quickly. Commissioner Darlene Riggs is hosting a health fair for all ages this Saturday, May 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Chamberlain University. This is located at 2300 Southwest 145th Avenue in Miramar. We're inviting everyone to come out for information on healthy living as well as a chance to win some free bicycles. For more information, you can visit MiramarFL.gov. And our Commissioner Maxwell Chambers, alongside the Community Health and Empowerment Network, are inviting all of our moms out to the second annual Pink Pumps and Pearls Mother's Day Brunch on Saturday, May 12th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at our Miramar Cultural Center Ballroom, 2400 Civic Center Place. Tickets are $50, and if you'd like to register, please visit you can actually register and nominate a great mom. All you need to do is visit healthempowermentnetwork.org. As a reminder, we're inviting everyone to come out and conquer the world and celebrate the city's birthday with an international tour. Miramar Day is happening Saturday, May 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Miramar Amphitheater, located at Miramar Regional Park, 16801 Miramar Parkway. The events will include live entertainment by Regina Bell, Oro Solido, Kev, Willie Stewart in Rhythms of Africa, a kids zone, and international vendors serving food and great souvenirs. There will also be a fantastic parade featuring acts representing countries like China, India, and the Bahamas. Attendees will receive passports that they actually can have stamped after visiting each vendor. The more stamps you receive, the greater chance you'll have at winning one of 3 grand prizes, including a trip or a night out in Miramar. You don't want to miss this free event. Register for free today at MiramarDay2018.eventbrite.com. And as a reminder, Commissioner Yvette Colburn with our Homeowners Association is hosting a Homeowners Association Roundtable Thursday, June 7th from 6 to 9 p.m. at our Miramar Cultural Center. This event will provide opportunities for homeowners associations, condominium associations, crime watch groups, and property management groups, important legislative updates, as well as an opportunity to communicate any needs or concerns that they have. For more information or to RSVP, please call 954-602-3143 or 954-602-3131. You can also email ycolburn@MiramarFL.gov. There are still spaces available at so many of our summer camps, so as a reminder, we want everyone to get their child registered today. And if you'd like to register your child for summer camp or just get some more information about the camps that we offer, you can visit MiramarFL.gov. Thank you all for tuning into those city news updates. And as always, we welcome any questions with those as well. So I'm very excited. We have our first guest on the show today. This is Miss Janae Charles. How are you, Janae?
Great, how are you? Thank
Doing
you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here today. So Janae is a Miramar resident, lovely Miramar resident. She also is an author, and a young author, and has an amazing book. And I just want you to tell us first a little bit about yourself, kind of growing up in Miramar, and just a little bit about who you are and what you're currently involved in.
Well, I actually grew up in Antigua, but I've lived in Miramar for about six years now, so a pretty long time. I go to FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University. I'm studying communication with a concentration in public relations, and so, yeah.
Yes, very fun.
Okay.
So in the midst of being a student and working and, getting internships and all the experience that Janae needs to really flourish as a professional adult in the working world, she also has pursued one of her passions, which is writing. So before we get into your book, just tell us a little bit about your writing. What kind of inspired you to start writing? Why did you decide to write? Tell us a little about that.
I was always a writer. My mom is a writer, my grandmother's a writer, so I just feel like they kind of passed that down to me. But what really pushed me to write this book was actually through a breakup. And so I know it sounds like cliche, but that's what happened. And it was just really a way for me to get my feelings out, and in a healthy way. And so I just started writing every day. I made it a commitment to write at least one page a day. And so after about a year and a half, I found I had enough, content to maybe publish, write a book. And so, like, why not? Well, why not? Just do it. And so I love writing about healing and self-care and self-love. That's what has made me who I am today, just by writing about my feelings, and that's what my feelings usually are about.
Definitely. So you mentioned that your mom and your grandmother are both writers. So when you were younger, did you keep a journal or a diary with just daily thoughts, or is it more of your writing more about what you mentioned, that healing and self-growth and all that?
Both, definitely. I've always loved diaries. I've had about 100 for no apparent reason, really, just to have journals and diaries. But I've always loved to write, just write, and anything, just about anything. But really pushed me into this book was poetry and healing, and so I kind of found that new passion that I really love to do. So
yes. So, and just to share. So Janae's mom actually shared the book with me. So I was able to read it, and it's beautiful. And we're gonna tell everyone where they can get the book, because it's just an amazing read, and it's really inspiring, and things that you read it and you think, wow, these are things that maybe I was thinking, but I never could really verbalize it on paper. So it's excellent. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to read it. But you talk about some of the topics that are discussed in the book, so our viewers can kind of get an idea of the feel for it.
I talk about, my relationships with my dad, my grandmother, relationships I've had with other people, mostly intimate relationships, and just the relationship with myself. And so I kind of go through stages, my books. It's about healing, it's about growth, and I love flowers, so I just incorporated that into the book. And so each chapter is a stage of a flower kind of unfolding. And so in the first chapter, you see it's closed, and then towards the end, you see it's fully opened, and blooms, and that's why I call it unfolding. So the first half is about kind of sadness and hurt, and just kind of working through that. And towards the end of the book, it's about healing and self-realization, self-awareness.
Yeah, and I think that everyone kind of really goes through that season of blooming, and even metaphorically speaking, this kind of death to certain things. Flowers don't live forever, but they regrow and flourish into something else, something different, something more beautiful. So I love the way that book uses that metaphor, but with real life examples. One of my favorite excerpts from the book, the poems, was the one about natural hair and like the process of like. So tell us a little bit about that. I want you to share that with the readers. That was meaningful to me.
Thank you. I remember when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I got my first relaxer, and I was super excited because, you know, my hair was really hard to manage, and, you know, I know my mom was kind of struggling with my hair, and it was just a lot. And so the first time I got it texturized, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get an actual permanent perm. And so the first time I got a perm, I was super excited. I remember my mom picking me up from school, and we went straight to the hairdresser. And it was someone that I was familiar with, and it hurt. It hurt a lot. But I was willing to go through anything to make my hair straight because I thought it was it was a thing to do. I thought it was prettier than what, you know, my hair naturally was. And so I was really happy to just straighten my hair. I was like, this looks so much better. Even though my hair was really thin, it didn't really look better. It was just something that, you know, is unfortunately really prevalent where I'm from. You know, it's a lot of colorism and all of that stuff like that. And so that kind of seeped into my, you know, my self-esteem. And so I thought just making my hair straighter would make me prettier and make me feel better about myself. And so after a while, I just realized, you know, I actually don't like this. And so I remember just chopping off my hair in 10th grade in the bathroom. Wow. And I've been natural ever since.
Wow. And one of the lines in that I think it was at the last line, it said, you know, you looked in the mirror and you said, wow, like I'm finally pretty. Yeah. Because even like for me, you know, growing up with curly hair or whatever, just people noticing the difference, like when your hair is straight, when you wear it straight, it's like, wow, you look so pretty with straight hair, you should straighten your hair more often. And it really brings to light an issue of why does straight have to be prettier?
Exactly.
You know, so that was just personally for me my favorite part of the book. So definitely, if you have young children, or if you have you know, women in your life who might be going through that journey, this is definitely something to pick up, even if just for that excerpt. And it talks a lot about just growth and those growing pains and things like that. So you also have another book that you're here to talk about. So I'd like you to just show that and tell us a little bit about what that is.
Well, this is my book. This is called Blossom. It's actually a self-care journal that I created last year, but I published this year. And so it's a really big journal. It's not just about just writing anything. It's a guided journal. It has weekly checkups, weekly questions, guided affirmations, and daily exercises that you can. It's more of a practice journal. And so I was trying to find a journal out there that had everything that I wanted, and I couldn't find it. And so I decided to create one for myself. And it really made me dig deeper within myself. And I love anything that brings more self-awareness. And I love anything that makes me question who I am and what I have to offer and what are my talents, like what am I good at. That's what I really love to do. And so I decided to create this journal. It's called Blossom. So yes.
Yes. Now, if people wanted to pick up your work, where can they go ahead and do that?
Yes, they can go to MiramarFL.gov and they can type in my name, Janae Charles, and both of my books, Unfolding and Blossom, will pop up, and you can purchase either one. One is $9.99 and the Blossom Journal is $18.99.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Janae, for coming on the show today and just sharing a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for
your
having
work.
me.
We really appreciate it. And, you know, if you're interested in supporting a young Miramar author, we definitely encourage you to check her out on Amazon and purchase her work. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be chatting with Stephanie Jones from Chat Miami about the upcoming Synergy Summit. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned.
The King of Pop is coming to Miramar.
And bother always told me, be careful who you love, careful what you do, 'cause the lie become the truth. Hey, Billie Jean is not my love, she's just a girl
May 10th at 8 p.m., experience I Am King. For tickets, call 954-602-4500. Celebrate Miramar Day with cultures from around the world. Save the date, Saturday, May 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Miramar Amp at Miramar Regional Park, 16801 Miramar Parkway. Enjoy a free concert and cultural festivities for the whole family. Presented by Memorial Hospital Miramar.
Good morning, Miramar, and welcome back. Thank you for all of you who remain tuned in. We just wrapped up our chat with Miramar author Janae Charles, and now we are joined by Stephanie Jones. She is with Chat Miami, and I'm going to have her just tell us a little bit about herself, kind of what she does, and really about the upcoming 2018 Synergy Summit for Cultural and Heritage Tourism here in South Florida. So, Stephanie, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here this morning.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Well, we're actually about a week away from the first annual Synergy Summit for Cultural and Heritage Tourism. And also, I just wanted to let your viewers know that my company is Chat South Florida.
Yes.
And underneath Chat South Florida is Chat Miami, Chat Broward, and we'll soon be expanding into Palm Beach County this summer.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and Chat South Florida and how that got all started.
Well, sure. Well, I am a marketer. You know, my background, I've been a marketer for over 20 years. However, over the past 2 years, I have ventured out into this tourism industry, specifically cultural and heritage tourism. I was hired by the Greater Miami Convention Visitor Bureau about 2 years ago through their multicultural tourism department to help develop a tourism business enhancement program. That gave me an opportunity to work with smaller businesses and smaller attractions in some of the heritage neighborhoods and the urban communities throughout Miami to help them become tourism ready. And as a result of doing that work and really understanding, you know, the landscape of these neighborhoods, but also where the lack of opportunity exists for smaller businesses and attractions to actively participate in Miami's tourism industry, I decided, hey, I wanted to create a tangible way to create broader inclusion, engagement, and opportunity for these smaller businesses, the local attractions, tour guides, and small tour operators to really get a piece of this multi-billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely. And it's so excellent that you're so heavily involved in this, because I think it's so needed, because there's so much more to South Florida than big hotels
Absolutely.
and beaches.
Absolutely.
So you're really bringing light to that, which I think is amazing.
Thank
so
you.
You talked a little bit about Chat Miami, so that's Cultural and Heritage Alliance.
Yes, CHAT stands for Cultural Heritage Alliance for Tourism. And under that umbrella, we have several divisions. We have our tour division, and that's where we partner with small businesses and attractions in Miami and now in Fort Lauderdale, and as I mentioned earlier, soon to be Palm Beach. And we curate these rich cultural and heritage walking tours and tastings, as well as private bus tours for groups, as a way to immerse people into the rich culture and history that exists throughout South Florida.
Absolutely.
And also to be able to provide those off the beaten path or off the beach experiences for people who are visiting our destination, seeking to really explore and to mix and mingle with the local folks and to really enjoy the culture.
Definitely, definitely. Now, so the Synergy Summit is actually beginning next week. Tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that and kind of what activities people should expect.
Sure. Well, I'm really excited because this is the first summit of its kind, really, in the state of Florida. So I'm really excited about that. The summit kicks off on Wednesday, May 16th. And we're going to have our pre-summit symposium called The Heart of Heritage Neighborhoods. And we have convened some of the top historians from throughout South Florida who are going to come together and really talk about the history of Miami, the history of Broward, and the history of Florida, because a lot of people that are from this area are not even, knowledgeable about the history right in our own backyards. But they're also going to talk about the impact of tourism on neighborhoods and how the history and the culture has been leveraged by the tourism industry to drive more tourism dollars and tourists to these different heritage neighborhoods and communities for people to experience, again, the rich history and culture. So that's taking place Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. at Mount Hermon AME Church. Is actually free and open to the public. You do need to register, and I'll give out the website later.
Yes.
Following that, we're actually going to be doing 2 cultural and heritage familiarization tours, and I'm excited that the City of Miramar is going to be one of the cities that we're going to be showcasing. So the goal is that we're going to be inviting meeting planners, destination management companies, hotel concierges, tourism professionals who bring tourists to our destination and make recommendations on how they should spend their money and where they should spend their time. Because you all have a lot of wonderful cultural gems and history, and you're a very up and coming community with your businesses that move here. And a lot of people are just simply not aware of what's happening right here in Miramar.
Yes.
And on the tour that we're doing Wednesday evening, we're going to be bringing a group of tourism professionals and media to experience some of the great things you have here in Miramar. We're also going to do a tour for the city of Oakland Park. So we'll do a culinary tour because they are now positioning their downtown area as a culinary arts district. And they have some wonderful restaurants just as Miramar does. But a lot of people don't even know about it. So our hotel concierges, they don't make recommendations to tourists to go off the beaten path and to explore some of these other cities that are, easy to access when they come to this area as a destination.
Absolutely.
Then Thursday is the main day of the summit. And we're going to have a great lineup of regional and national speakers that are going to be talking about all types of topics to help people understand what cultural and heritage tourism is, because it's the fastest growing segment of the travel industry.
Oh, wow.
And it creates so many opportunities for small businesses, attractions, tour guides, and tour operators to really get their feet in the door of this industry. So we're going to have other small businesses, hotels, restaurants, travel agents share with our summit attendees how you can start a tourism related business, or what are careers you can explore in the hospitality and tourism industry. We're going to have keynotes that are going to again talk about how we can really position South Florida, Broward County, as a destination for cultural heritage tourism. We are going to be honoring some of the best tourism power players, people and organizations that have really been working hard to showcase the best of South Florida through their businesses and providing wonderful services and experiences to our visitors when they come. And then after we have the awards luncheon and the sessions during the day, we're going to be taking over Fat Village Arts District. And we're going to be having a World of Culture welcome reception. Nice. So all of our summit attendees, we'll be busing them from the hotel, the Renaissance Plantation Hotel, our host hotel, to Fat Village, and they'll be able to enjoy different types of cuisine. So we're going to be showcasing different cultures through the music, the dance, the art, and the food. Yes. And we even have a mass gospel choir that's going to be performing. Nice. We're doing trolley trivia, so people can again just have a great time learning about the area and visiting places like the Sailboat Bend Artist Lofts. So there's going to be a lot going on. Then Friday we're wrapping up, and we're going to be closing it out with our Let's Chat talk show. And I'll be interviewing some of the guests that we're bringing in from out of the state to talk about how they're doing cultural heritage tourism in other markets.
Yes, and that's wonderful, and I think it's so important. Now, the Synergy Summit, if people wanted, I know you mentioned the first day is free, that's kind of like the introduction,
yes.
But what if people wanted to attend the entire summit? What would they need to do?
They just need to go to our website, which is www.culturalheritage.summit. There we have different registration levels. We have a one-day registration for Thursday. The full summit registration is $149. However, on-site will be $199. And then if they just want to participate in the awards luncheon, they can register for that as well. But we encourage everyone to participate in the entire summit because it's going to be an experience unlike we've had in South Florida, as it relates to a conference. So we're really excited about the programming and all of our speakers and all of the wonderful cultural organizations and groups that are going to be working with us.
Definitely. Now, if you're someone who, is either in the hospitality industry or just wants to learn more about the culture of where they're from, I think this would be a great opportunity.
Absolutely. And let me also just say that Greater Fort Lauderdale Convention Visitor Bureau and the Broward Cultural Division are our partners in this effort. And so they've been a tremendous partner to chat. And we're looking forward to growing the summit and announcing our dates for 2019. But we want you to come this year as well.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now share the website one more time.
www.culturalheritagesummit.com. I hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning into this portion of Good Morning Miramar. As a reminder, we are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Wishing you all a great day. And remember, it's right here in Miramar. Bye-bye.